All right. Welcome back, guys. It's Tuesday. What's going on? Gigi's headed home. Shout out to the people that jumped into the stream a little early. Tech Love and Mama, I saw her in here a little early. Today is Tuesday again, and we are back at it again. Me and my man, myproject13. We're gonna go ahead and bring it to you again, man. We're gonna try to keep a good rotation going here when we can permit, when time permits. We're gonna go ahead and give you some conversation about smartphones. And everybody say hello to my project. Welcome back, man. I'm glad you were able to come back.
Hey, thank you, man. I appreciate it. Yeah, I was looking forward to this all week, making sure that I had nothing in the way and that anything I had to do was going to surround this. So totally stoked to be back. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
It's good to have everybody in the stream. Thank you.
Yeah. Now we've actually got, I didn't tell you, Anthony, but we actually have another guest that he can't make it today, but he's going to try to make it. You'll love it. I think you'll love to see this next person on, man. It's going to be pretty exciting. He's right in line with you. He feels, when I say in line with you, he feels about the same way you do about doing live streams.
Oh, okay.
And we're all close in age. He's 56. So we represent for the OGs,
I got 55 coming, so
yeah. So we're all in that same bubble of age group. But he's a good tech. I don't want to say his name yet. I'll tell you backstage. But
okay.
I forgot to tell you ahead of time because I was going to put him on the logo as well. I don't know if he can come regularly, but he definitely is excited about doing it because he had a doc's appointment. So
okay.
Yeah. So I'm gonna pencil him in. I told him to get with me ASAP whenever you're ready to come back through, and we'll schedule it. So shout out to everybody coming in to the stream. I appreciate you guys stopping through on your work day.
Definitely.
The bifo so I can see. All right, so we are gonna chat today. Hopefully we can give you a longer stream this time because last time I was having a lot of issues and I've been getting that worked on in the background. So hopefully I continue to have a good run with this thing. But wow, there is a lot to cover, and what better way to cover it than with somebody who's both of us we buy. Watch out, Gigi said, "Oh man, energy." Hey, let me tell you something. Hey, I just cut my gray off. Anthony chooses not to. I grow it out sometimes, but he leaves his full throttle. So shout out to everybody in the stream that's dropping it, that's able to come through. I know this is like a work day. I actually like streaming during this time of the day, though. I think it's great to stream during the time of the day because for one reason, you get to see the people that are in the other time zone. Like, the people in the UK, it's probably nighttime for them. The people in China.
Yeah.
I have a lot of people that follow me, and I know you do too, that follow you from different time zones. And they always say, man, you were streaming at 8:00 at night. And that's like, 6 in the morning for me. I was asleep or I was headed to work or something like that. So good. Try to get people on in different time zones and stuff like that. So yeah, this will be fun, man. We plan on talking about, you can see the thumbnail. So we've got some phones listed there. No particular order or anything like that. No schedule. I don't like to do like a scheduled list of things all the time. I kind of just like to freestyle it. And I think that's the best way to do a live stream.
Totally agree. Totally agree.
Yeah. Also, if you missed the stream last night, part 7 was off the charts, man. We had a huge panel. At one point, 7 total, I think. 6 at one time, but eventually there were about 7, 8. I'm not sure. We had a good time last night. So catch the replay of part 7 on starting at Tips and Tricks and starting a YouTube channel. So today, again, shout out to everybody who's able to join at this very time. It is about 2:00 Central Standard Time, and I think it's 12:00 his time, Anthony's time, right?
Yeah, right now
12:00 his time. So we're on different time zones. So it takes a lot for us to schedule these, and get these streams going because I'm pretty much open to the time and everything. But just life. He got doctor's appointments. I got doctor's appointments. So yeah.
Well,
so we're going to talk
I'm still working, so I'm still getting to the point where I can not work anymore and have a little more free time. So yeah,
right.
It's work. I still got 3 kids at home.
Right. But you don't have babies. You don't have babies.
No babies. But if they need if they need something, I'm there for them. But yeah, it's just so much stuff that it seems like Tuesdays for me is literally the best day to do this. And it's just so awesome to be here and get it going again,
Yeah, I know. I missed live streaming. I swear I stopped live streaming for at least a year regularly, I guess, or more. And I had to reach out to some people who I could talk to in the background about, getting myself with this newer software. I didn't know how to use any of this software. It was crazy, man. I mean, but I like it. I think it's really nice. Way more animated than what we were doing back in the day, man. Like this is completely different. This is much nicer. I really like it. So we're going to talk today about the direction, and again, conversations like this, we can have the same conversation every week. It just won't. It's always going to be something to talk about with it, because this is just how it is. So the smartphone game is incredible. And I want to start with my last video was about Apple, like an official video I did where it's kind of a conversation about something. It was about Apple, and there's an engagement in that. And Apple videos always draw either Android trolls or Apple fans that are just Apple can do no wrong. And I wanted to get your take on that, because I don't feel like Apple is doing enough. And I gave a good example, man. I have my iPhone here, and 64 gigs for $830 is obviously not worth it. But you can't tell a consumer that. They might look at you like you're crazy. But do you think Apple is doing enough to keep consumers coming back and buying? Because what's so different about this iPhone from last year? You see what I'm saying?
Right. I personally think that Apple thinks they're doing enough. I think they're.
I agree.
I think that they're seeing the numbers, and and we talk a lot about the average consumer and their willingness to follow and keep purchasing anything that Apple puts out, whether it's because you just love the user experience or you love having the ecosystem.
Yeah.
They're already there, they're planted, rooted, and it doesn't matter if you talk about more storage, expandable storage. They look at you like with this odd, they tilt their heads and go, okay,
Right.
well, that doesn't matter to me because it's what I like. And,
Right.
and as techies, because we're able to
Oh, you cut out, man.
gate that whole world of smartphones, whether
yeah,
for us, we see the logical answer to that no, they're not doing enough. They're not giving enough, but they can move in slow motion and implement everything that Android's already done. And again, the iPhone user isn't concerned about what we see right in front of our faces.
Why do you think Apple loyalists always have the same generic responses? Well, if it's not broken, don't fix it, or the numbers don't lie. iPhones sell a whole bunch. That means sales don't mean something is better. I don't know why a person would use that logic. Sales means it doesn't. It just means that something's selling. It doesn't mean that it's particularly better. Right. A great example for me would be Windows computers. I only use Windows laptops. I don't use Windows PCs. I use a Mac for my main desktop experience. And even laptops, I pretty much prefer a Mac, but I just have to, when I have a Windows laptop, I have to buy a very powerful one. Like my latest one that I got was that latest Asus back there, and it is the 11th gen i7. It is a beast, but I won't spoil it, but I have to buy a very powerful Windows laptop. And Windows laptops obviously sell pretty much better than MacBooks, because and Chromebooks do very well as well, because the school districts, all these other things where something is selling a boatload of them, but that doesn't mean that they're better, because I don't prefer Mac OS, or I don't prefer Windows over Mac OS. I like Mac OS better. So what do you say to those people out there that say, oh, the iPhones the numbers are always there, they sell millions of them every year? Does that mean that they're better just because they're selling a bunch more?
No, it doesn't. But again, I feel like sometimes I'm talking to their iPhones, and it goes back to, it's just simple, it's easy. I don't want to worry about all that. That's complicated information. And when they're ready to switch up to another phone, I'm like, hey man, I got a device I could sell you. Nah, you know what? I'm fine. I'm just gonna go get another iPhone. And it's their answers are very simplistic. There's nothing complicated about their answer. Yeah. It just is what it is. Um, um, doesn't matter what I tell them; they almost want to shut me up.
It's
So
not like you're trying to convince them to leave an iPhone.
no,
Obviously, I have
no,
an iPhone. Yeah, I've learned the hardest thing that I've had to do is when I have someone who's just loves an iPhone so much and they feel like Apple can just do no wrong, and there's actually consumers out there, not techies. There's consumers out there that actually believe that Apple just makes the most fantastic devices and they're perfect. And it's okay to feel like that because really what they're experiencing is their experience. If they're having this flawless run, you can't tell them they're wrong. You know what I'm saying? That if it's a good experience, but I think that if a person is exposed to something that's actually going to be more functional for them or better for them, some people, even if they know it is, they won't do it. They won't switch. They'll just say,
yeah.
"Oh no,
I think a lot of times too, they're for many years they've been so grounded in to have to change and relearn what they already are good at on iOS, which is a very simple experience. Like why do I need to relearn what I already know? It's already, and for me as a techie and a consumer, I love the intrigue of the challenge. But that's me. They don't want to be challenged. They just want to put their phone in their pocket, in their purse, get going and get their day, go
yeah,
through their day and be able to use it and get done and go home and go to eat and
yeah,
go to sleep.
yeah."
You see what I'm saying? My kids think I'm crazy because I'm already bored with this device and I'm looking forward to the next one.
I think that's
You know,
because
and they,
for us, I think that's because we have so many. Like if I didn't, when I wasn't like, I mean, I've always been into tech, but I wasn't so much doing YouTube videos until I felt like I got played and someone lied to me and told me something was great. And it wasn't. And I thought I got to have a voice. So I'm going to create me a channel, whatever. But I think I know that if I was not doing tech reviews, I wouldn't spend all the money that I spend. I would probably just have one device, obviously. It'll probably be a flip phone or maybe a BlackBerry with a full keyboard. And even if it was an older one, I wouldn't switch. That's hypocritical to a point where I'm telling new people current day about iPhones, don't you want to try something else? But and I'm obviously open to admit that is somewhat hypocritical for me because if I still could have a BlackBerry Passport working full throttle, I wouldn't recommend people to probably anything else because I'm going to be doing it based on my experience. And I think BlackBerry OS, WebOS were two of the most solid. Symbian, those are all better than Android and iOS on a bad day, especially WebOS. But they all borrowed from WebOS and BlackBerry OS. They borrowed from those, and Apple obviously borrowed from Symbian. You can clearly see the way it looks. But I think that when it comes to Apple, it's not about trying to convince people to stop using Apple because I love Apple products. I just think that their products are a little high in price for their phones. Their computers are just ridiculously priced sometimes. But again, the Mac Mini solves all of that. So when it comes to the direction of Apple, I don't think they're innovating at all when it comes to their
no,
smartphones,
no.
and they haven't really innovated at all. And I brought to the table, and I want to know how you feel about this. And even in the chat, if you're watching this, I appreciate it. How do you feel about Apple's folding device? Because it's gonna come. I talked about this in another video, but it's inevitable that they do a folding device because now folding devices are becoming so intriguing to consumers. People want to know. My wife officially switched from her iPhone 12 to a Surface Duo full time. She has put down her iPhone. She has a Galaxy S20. Pretty much everything I have, she has. She has a version. She has hers of it. But her device now is the Surface Duo full throttle. Full throttle, dude. Full
Wow,
throttle.
wow.
So how do
Well,
you feel about
and that
Apple
fits in her
doing that
purse,
folding
right?
phone?
That fits in
Huh?
her bag, right? So
Yeah, I mean, I keep
that's
mine in the
that,
outer box though when I'm not using it. It's not a
okay.
big phone. I can't believe you haven't tried it yet, man. I can't believe you
No,
haven't picked up
I
a
know.
Surface Duo.
I've watched
They're
your
400 bucks.
videos, and I could go out and get one right now. I'm just not as intrigued with it. I guess
Wow.
I
I can tell you,
okay. When it comes to that folding smartphone, I am still like doing this personal homework. I'm looking at it. I'm intrigued. I know I'm going to jump onto that boat with the rest of you eventually. I know the phone that I'm using right now to do the stream. I got the Pro Max right here, and it's a great phone. but it took a while for me to finally say yes to joining a lot of you that bring in the iPhone. I didn't for the longest time.
I
I'm
remember.
going that same route with the folding device. I maybe there's just something that I want there that says it's time.
No. Here, look, I want to jump in. I want to say this.
Uh-huh.
I think I got to jump in and tell you because there's people in the stream that bought the Surface Duo recently, or they're planning on buying it. People have the Surface Duo, and I think even if you don't get an unlocked version, grab the AT&T version that's $400 and just get it unlocked. I'm telling you, I think your approach to this should be different than Apple because the Surface Duo is actually real innovation. I just think you'll be so much happier with it once you actually get it. And it's only $400 with the coupon code. And all the money I've watched you spend on other devices, you're going to end up. I remember Eric from Easy Computer Solutions saying, "Oh, the price isn't right," and he was. I agree, the price wasn't right, but however, once he got it, man, that's one of his top choices. It's just you I'm not trying to convince you to buy the Surface Duo, but I'm telling you, the
Yeah, no,
Surface
I
Duo
agree.
is incredible. Once you get it in your hand, you're going to do like everybody else and say, "Oh my goodness, this hardware is incredible." Then you'll get like 4 software updates to catch you up to speed to the June security patch, and then you can start your process of using that device. I'm telling you, it's way better than what's being led on by so many people. I can't even stress it. I think you'll love it. I know you. Oh, your service is cutting out. I can see your status bar. It's so strange, man. I was having trouble with my internet over the last time we streamed, and now he's having trouble with his internet. Incredible. But I want to shout out to the people in the stream, man. Yeah, Gigi said, yeah, get your feet wet on that Duo. I can't stress it enough. You got to just go for it. You with you being a tech enthusiast, whenever your internet service comes back, you can jump in because I'm pretty sure you're listening to us like, what happened? But whenever you're able to grab it at such a low cost, like Gigi just said, just get your feet, just jump in there and do it. You're going to be so much happier. Yeah, see, his internet service dropped off. He'll be so much happier once he actually grabs that device. Let me put him back in here. There you are. I put you back. I kept talking for you. But
Was it me that froze it? Because it looked like it was you that froze
no,
it.
that was you. That
Oh,
was you.
was it?
Yeah, I can
Okay.
see your signal. Your signal dropped to red and you cut off.
Okay.
But as we were saying before you dropped off, the Duo, like Gigi says there on the comment here, you just gonna have to get your feet wet and jump out there and just do it. It sounds crazy, but think
No,
about
no,
all of
no.
it. Look. Ike's Tech Talk. He just bought it too. He was not even going in that direction. He was going in a completely different direction. Man, he got that thing, and once you get it, using a folding device, like look at the Hawks TV, using a folding device, once you start to use it, it's going to be very difficult to go back to something else. And if you've used the Galaxy Z Fold 2, it's not like that. It's completely different. You actually get to have 2 screens. It's not like the Axon M. It's a better version of the Axon M. Like Gigi calls it the Axon M 2.0. It's a way better version of the Axon M. I can only recommend, you know what I'm saying, based on personal
Right,
experience.
right.
Everybody I've told about this device, and it's not just because the price is lower that I like it. I was one of the first people to have it for that full cost. And I gave it a chance for about 2 months. But they didn't do any software updates for that entire time. And as soon as I sold it, they put out all the software updates. So I brought it back, and I win this time because now they're updating it monthly. So when it comes to folding devices, I just don't want people to sit back and think just because Apple might make one at some point or another that Apple did it right. The problem with companies looking like it's being done wrong is they're trying to skimp on it with a high price. Now, let's be clear here. There are several folding devices out there. That run speedier and faster than the Surface Duo, but the Surface Duo to me is the more premium device. It just needed more RAM. That's it. That's all it needed. And even now, the software has been updated and it's flowing right along. I don't have any problems really. I just think that with it only having one camera, and it's not a bad camera, by the way. The new Surface Duo Zeta, codename Zeta, is supposed to have 2 cameras. one on the front, one on the back. But I'm not worried about that yet because it's supposed to be announced in like next month or the month after.
Okay.
I'm not going to sweat that because current day, the Surface Duo right now, it is so good, man. If you, I can't stress enough, it is totally worth, especially if you can get it for $400, and you can. It's ridiculously priced. It's just the hardware alone is worth $1,000 probably. It's fantastic. Can't go wrong. So do you think that if Apple makes a folding phone, they'll get the credit for, oh, Apple did the innovation? Because that's what we talked about on the Apple video I did. I think
That
people are going to
that's
go crazy.
going to happen. Once drops, you're going to see a lot of the users on that side come across in a way like something you just hit this planet.
Yeah.
And of course, you and I are going to say, well, no, we already have these over here. Oh, really? Well, I'm going to buy this anyway. Because again, whether it's the ecosystem or whether it's just you're bonded to that name, that's just the way it's going to be. And yes, it's going to look like they just dropped some huge innovative device, and that's just
Yeah.
just the way it's going to be.
That's how it is.
Yeah.
And I don't hate it. That's fine. But again, that goes back to those Apple loyalists who just feel like Apple can do no wrong.
Right.
And that's
I think it's good for us because it's another option in the in that world of folding devices outside of what's already there and what's coming from the companies that we already have seen drop. And there's going to be others. Obviously, Google wants to drop their folding phone, as far as their Pixel lineup. So we got that to look forward to, and that's going to be interesting in its own. But yeah, I mean, I think that's where once these companies start flowing and getting these devices out, is you're going to start being able to see more and more of them manufactured in a way where they can cut here and there and bring down the price points.
yeah.
So then it's going to become more of a something that you see when you're out and about. So, but yeah.
So there's a question here from Soul86. He's talking about having all the different folding devices. Obviously, I prefer the Surface Duo over the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 2 because you actually have two full screens. If you try to do two things or three things on the Z Fold 2, it's these two long screens next to each other. It just now the initially I preferred the Z Fold 2 because the software just flowed better. It has better cameras, but in the end, overall experience is much better on the Surface Duo. It's just a better experience. Period. It just comes across as a better overall experience than the Z Fold 2 could ever. Last night on the Part 7 stream, Eric from Easy Computers, he said that. He said, when you open up the Z Fold 2, you got these two long screens and the applications look weird, which is true.
Right.
But the Duo, you get two full-size displays. And if you only want to use one, you close it up. Simply put. So Samsung, with their folding device, they're looking for pocketability and then basically having a tablet experience. I think the Surface Duo is looking for pretty much both. You're looking for a great one-handed experience, and it's not a very wide phone. It's hard to get a person to understand that the Surface Duo feels completely different than what you see on camera. Like when you see people, holding it, some people have really small hands, and so it looks ginormous. But it's so thin, it's just going to be one that you got to just get it in your hand. I think that sale is still going on right now over at Daily Steals, and the code is let me share the screen. Let me pull it up real quick, and then we'll move on to the Pixel because I do want to talk about that. Let me open up another window here and go to Daily Steals, and I'll see if that promo is still going on here. Let's see here.
Best Buy's still selling that as well, right?
Yeah, but Best Buy's selling the unlocked version, and they're selling it though. They're selling it for the same price. If you just want the unlocked version, I would just go to Microsoft and get it. I would go to Microsoft and get it. I wouldn't get it from Best Buy because they're selling it for $50 more. Best Buy is selling it for $50 more.
Wouldn't they price match that through Microsoft?
No, they're not going to Best Buy. They're not going to price match Microsoft because they price match Amazon. So if you can find it for cheap on Amazon, you can walk into Best Buy if they have it in stock and get it. So let me share my screen here. Let me see here. I'm still new at this thing here. All right.
Honestly, I've been more intrigued with the little flip over the fold.
And that's what I said too. I'm intrigued by the Z Flip 3.
Yes.
All right, I'm clicking the wrong thing. Share screen. Here we go. Let's see here. All right, so we're going to share a tab here. Here we go. Let's share this, and now I'm going to bring it on real quick here, and I'll show you that it is in fact it's on sale still. So here is to me the reason I'm saying that you should probably not, you know, I would recommend if like right now we're talking and you probably had no intentions on even thinking about this the Duo, but I mean it's so good, man. I think you'll be so much happy. I appreciate the super chat. I appreciate it. I'll read that in just a second. I think you'll be so happy with the Surface Duo. It's $429 without the code, and if you put the code in, you get it $20 off of that. So it's
Nice.
409. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I gotta admit that's a killer price for that.
And it'll get you in the door. And then if you don't like it, I think they have like a 2-month return policy or something like that, or a 30-day return policy. Yeah. And the 256 gig is actually 529. But again, if you're a person that's on the fence about even getting it, this is your best entry into it. And I guarantee you can get it unlocked for free. You'll love this device, man. You will. You'll love it. Yeah. So I see a super chat here. Let me post this up here. I appreciate. He had a question or a statement I see here. Appreciate it from Underside. It says, the funny thing is that most of the people I know who have a Z Fold 2 are people who came from iPhones. Exactly. There's a shift because people are kind of tired of iPhones. That's why I made that video the other day. Are they freaking serious? They're not really innovating. They're not innovating at all.
No. And of course, it's just rumored information. But when I'm doing a little bit of homework on stuff like that, I see that I was reading one article where they said you're not really going to see a lot of the major changes in your iPhone device until like 2023. Well, if that's true, how many innovative areas are we going to see on with Android devices between then and now?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's a matter. Yeah. That's
so you'll finally get rid of the notch. You'll finally add USB Type C.
right.
You know,
right. I mean, it's a matter.
You'll finally change that design form factor.
Yeah.
You know,
it's supposed to be. Someone said it the other day in the other video I did on the Apple. They talked about it being a punch hole camera, like what everybody like the camera in the screen. That's right. Old. You know, everybody. You know, so everybody complains about something. Like right now, let's go ahead and shift to the Pixel 6 and the Pixel 6 Pro. Everybody complained about the little dip in the screen on the Pixels. And then when they decided they were going to put the camera in the hole in the center of the screen like that, everybody complained about that. And so now, fast forward to the Pixel 6 and the Pixel 6 Pro. Unfortunately, the leaks that you've seen, I think they're probably real because someone posted a real photo of the device. And we were talking about leaks and stuff in my private group. Shout out to all the people that's in that private smartphone conversations group. It's a shame that people are actually posting. I want to be excited and surprised by something. I like surprises, like when it comes to the tech. I like the shock and awe of finding out something new that's been floating around for 6 months and I didn't know anything about it. And then when it comes out, boom, oh my gosh, it's excitement. But unfortunately, I think the leaks on the Pixel 6 are actually accurate because someone actually posted a real photo of themselves holding it. Kind of sucks.
Yeah.
That's what I say.
I agree. It's hard to turn on your phone in the morning and the first thing you see when you go over to your Google feed, your news is that information right away. It's just there in front of your face. And it's just, it'd be nice to go back about 5-6 years when we didn't know a whole heck of a lot about what was coming out.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean, the getting a leak every now and then is cool. Like 1, maybe 2, where the devices are. Remember they used to have them in the boxes, like to cover, conceal what they actually look like.
Right.
But I know for a fact that some companies pay to have their phones leaked or the devices leaked just to get the reaction of the communities. And so that's unfortunate. But in fact, it does happen.
It is because once they start dropping those leaks and rumors. And you know what it could, you know, there's already Pixel Fold rumors, and there's different type of pictures being thrown out there as far as leaks. You'll get these reactions in the comment section like, "Oh, that looks ugly. I'm not going to get it." Well, how can you say that? It hasn't even come out yet. those aren't legitimate at the beginning. And until you get it in hand, how do you know you may not like your experience on it? To just say I don't like what I see, I'm not going to get it right out of the gate. You know,
Well, the Pixel 6, I'm gonna try to go ahead and pull up that photo. Let's get out of here, and I'm gonna open up my private chat and see if I can get that photo for you. Unfortunately, I believe that, again, this person's actually holding the real phone, and it's unfortunate. I'm gonna go ahead and share this right now. Let me see here. Share screen, share tab, and hopefully this will work here. Let's see here. Okay, yeah, you won't see anything personal here. So here's the device. Somebody's actually holding it. That's a real photo of it. Is it not?
yeah, that looks real to me.
That's a real person holding the phone. And that's why I say it's unfortunate that we just don't have the good. I just prefer the leaks where I'm surprised. Let me see if I can zoom in on this photo a little bit too. Yeah, that's a real phone, folks. That's a real phone. And, people are leaking them out, man. They don't freaking care. They don't care. And, this is a person. Now, if you're wondering how people can leak the phones like this, a couple of people can leak these phones. A beta tester, because I've always been a beta tester, and I normally, when they were doing a lot of beta testing, I had a lot of phones prior to them even like 6 months before releasing. But the hardware might change, or the software might change. Sometimes the hardware is official, and then the software is going to change. But this, in fact, is one of the variants of what could possibly be the Pixel 6 Pro. And it's unfortunate that beta testers or sometimes company employees will pop these out like this, and it's not a good look. I don't think it's a good look. I'd rather be surprised. But sometimes you have to build the hype behind your device, and leaks do it.
Yeah, no, I agree. Wow.
Now, have you seen this before?
No, I didn't see this one.
You're like, dang, man, they are holding the real one. I kind of wanted to be surprised.
Now. I mean, I'm waiting for someone to say, "Oh, I hate that G because it's so huge." I like it.
I think it's okay. Now, overall, the leaks that I've seen, I think it's a beautiful device.
It's a beautiful phone.
Yeah,
but of course, I was on board with the Nexus 6P from Huawei, and everybody hated that when they were showing the pictures of that device. Everybody was just like tearing it down until they got it in hand.
Yeah.
And then it wasn't so bad, right? No, I love that. I love that design.
I think it's beautiful.
But like you said, I think it's a letdown to already know this much.
Yeah. I think this statement from the Hawks TV, I think she's right on point. People just don't care about their non-disclosure agreements. They just don't. There's people out there that just don't freaking care. They will release something and they just they don't care in the world, especially like if they're in another country and they have like a prototype or something like that. That's not even official. It's just official hardware. Or, a non-disclosure agreement, or NDA, as she put it here. You're supposed to not talk about something publicly until they give you the date of the embargo lift.
Right.
That's all it is. You agree to secrecy for 6 months, a year, whatever it is. I'm always saying, hey, I'm under a lot of embargoes. I really am under a lot of embargoes, and I honor those embargoes. But when the embargo lifts, I talk about the product like I'm supposed to. I cover what I need to cover. I just think it'll help maintain a good relationship with companies if we continue to do that.
I just think it's a blessing and an honor to be able to represent, and to violate that is I mean, there's always the want, and there's that temptation, but you have to be you have to look at the whole opportunity part of it, man.
Yeah.
I started this years ago, and the fact that I receive products and have the honor to represent like that, it's not worth it to me to do that. So
I remember when you started. And it was, now look at where your channel is. I mean, but I think that when people drop their NDAs and they just don't honor things anymore, and they just don't care, it makes for a bad experience overall for other creators, because companies won't really trust us. Because remember when the companies were only sending them to like the official media outlet, YouTubers were not getting things. And they realized, wait a minute, I got a bigger reach if I get a YouTuber. If a YouTuber
Right.
has a million subs, a million people's going to. At least that's what they think in theory. They
Right.
think that
Right.
because a person has a million subs, they'll get 1 million people to check out this product and 1 million people to buy this product. And you got to ask yourself, I think I know most people. You should know that a commercial like those 30-second ads, those 10-second ads, some of those are $500,000, $1 million for that 10 seconds. So why spend $1 million on 10 seconds when you can give a product to a creator and pay them nothing or $200 or whatever, and they're going to talk about the product. They're
And
going
they're
to talk
going to
about the
kick out,
product.
and they're going to kick out more than one or two videos.
Yep. And most creators are so happy to even get a product, especially if you, and a target that I've seen is that a lot of companies now are reaching out to consumer or creators who don't have a million subs, who don't have all these counts, because most of those creators won't ask for money, and they'll just be so excited to get the product. They might not in, they won't intentionally do it, but they'll be so excited they might not be willing to say something not great about the product in hopes to get another product from them. But
Right.
most creators who are getting, especially some of the creators that have been around or who the ones who are influencers, they tend to not say too many positive things about companies other than Apple and Samsung, and that's unfortunate. That's just a thing. Some of these creators or websites, they just don't give any credit to uh, companies other than Apple and Samsung. And you see,
Yeah.
look at this comment right here. Yeah, we know, man. We know about that one. That's a pretty that's a killer deal right there. That Pixel 2 for that price. I saw a comment up here from Joseph here. So, and foldable phones are foldable for the future. So, we'll whole point is one. I try. Yeah, I agree. I agree. I totally agree.
Yeah. When I started to right now, that I started to notice that shift of companies uh, wanting to involve the smaller YouTube creator. And I can feel that now. At first, it wasn't like that. I remember it would just seem like you had to have a big name out there. And But it did shift. I think they're realizing the content that is being put out and how legitimate, not all, but a lot of it is, and coming more from a real experience, and are willing to kick out 2 or 3, 4 videos on that product, and they're reaching more of that average person than the people that are actually watching those bigger YouTubers. And of course, in no way am I going to take away their platform, because however they got there, they got there.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
huge shout out to the companies that started recognizing, hey, this could work, and it's been working, and I'm glad that I got involved and
Oh
was
yeah.
able to feel that shift. You know what
Oh
I'm
yeah.
saying?
Oh
So
yeah.
so that's awesome.
I think one thing we don't see a lot of, and that we should see a lot of, is the size of a phone. And I personally, it sounds crazy, but I enjoy a smaller phone. It doesn't matter how big my hands are.
You've always said
I
that too. You've
I
always said that.
enjoy a smaller variant of a phone for regular use. Like if I have to travel or if I have to do, yeah, I've always said that, right?
Yeah,
I like
yeah.
big phones. I love them and I use them, but I would prefer to go to a meeting with a much smaller phone in my top pocket of my suit jacket, or in my pocket itself. I would just prefer to have something smaller, which is why I travel with a flip phone when I do go to like somewhere I'm going to something. I'm going to be there for a while. I'll put my SIM card in a flip phone because I just tuck it away and I forget it's there, and I get to focus on whatever it is. Then I'll check my emails later. But if I do want to have a small form factor on a smartphone, the Pixel 4 A and the Pixel 4, those phones are just great to me. I like the smaller iPhones most of the time. And I just think 6 inches or less on a phone screen size is just fantastic. So the size of a phone, and also I think most would agree, there's not enough small powerhouse phones. Right now, technically, Apple has the smallest, most powerful phone, which is the iPhone 12 mini. But that size is great, man. It's a 5.4 inch screen, but I would prefer a 5.8 at the smallest. But there's not enough powerful small Android phones being sold to us. There's just not. There's just not. And I think people really want a small,
For me,
powerful phone.
I don't. Well, today's design allows these phones to look a lot smaller than what they really are. But honestly, Jay, I miss having bezel
Wow.
up top and the bottom. Like when I'm
And
using
that's all the more
my
reason why you need to pick up the Duo. I
when
mean,
I'm when I'm using my Google Pixel 4 XL, that bezel up there and down here, that's just
it doesn't bother me either. It doesn't bother me either. So we got
yeah.
another
And
super chat come in.
I think I've known you for about 7 years now,
Probably
and
longer. I don't know. Yeah.
maybe longer. And you've literally, like with the smaller form factor and other information that you talk about a lot, you've never wavered from that information.
Nope.
I've
I
watched your
prefer.
videos for
Yeah.
years, and you've literally, there's many areas you have always stuck by.
Yep. I definitely
And that's awesome.
prefer a smaller phone sometimes. But this person right here, undecided, says Sony sent them the new, wow, the XM4s before they came out to test out. I had to sign a non-disclosure that wouldn't post pictures and videos of the product. And that's the beauty of a non-disclosure, getting stuff early. You should take advantage of that. You should make sure that you're abiding by the rules that you're supposed to abide by when it comes to your non-disclosure agreement. That's what you should do. That's what you should do. So
Yeah,
I
agreed.
the Pixel devices, they're coming, and the announcement is what, August? No, Samsung's event is on August 5th, right?
Yes.
Yeah, Samsung is August 5th.
Yes.
And I now of the devices that are there, like for real though, which one are you excited about? Are you excited about the is Tech Filer here? I see people saying hello to Tech Filer. Um, are you excited about the Z Flip 3 or the Z Fold 3?
Hold on a second. Okay.
Go ahead. I said, are you excited about
Uh,
the Z Fold 3 or the Z
I'm
Flip 3?
the Flip 3.
Yeah, me too.
That's what I'm excited about.
Yeah.
That's I'm looking at the fold. I'm looking at that fold, but if I had to choose one, and let's just say Samsung reached out to me and say you can choose one to review, it would be the Flip. It would be
Yeah.
the Flip.
If they reach out
It
to me
ain't gonna
too,
happen.
I'm all
It
over the
ain't gonna
Flip.
happen, but
You never know. You never know. You never know. Yeah, we didn't forget about the Zenfone 8. That phone right there is pretty much the Pixel. If you wanted a Pixel 5 to be a certain way, the Zenfone 8, and the Zenfone 8 mini, but the Zenfone 8 itself is a fantastic size. It's a 5.9-inch display, pretty much the same size as the Pixel 4a or Pixel 4, yeah, 4a. Fantastic, beautiful, just beautiful. So small phones, yeah, we need them. Yeah, 5.9 inches on the screen size on that is definitely. I'm totally. That's like the Pixel we didn't get. The Pixel 5, as far as like internals go, but Google has proven that they don't have to put all these banging and these high, expensive processors inside or go with the most top tier processor just to get you to buy their device and for it to be actually be good, because that device is actually fantastic. The Pixel 5, but the Pixel 4a is the most logical choice. I give the Pixel 4a like phone of the year when it comes to those Pixel devices, because you pay $200 less and you pretty much get the same thing minus the waterproofing and wireless charging ultimately. But yeah. Hey, Tech Valor, I know I saw you in there. So if you're just joining in, we're talking about the direction of smartphones today, and I'm joined with my partner here, Anthony, myproject13. If you don't know who he is, just look up myproject13. You'll definitely see that he's got a good channel. He's been creating just as long as I have almost. So we're talking about the direction of smartphones, and we some conversations can just go and go and go and go. And I think that when it comes to the direction of a smartphone, if you've been following me long enough, I didn't like smartwatches, and now I regularly rock with a smartwatch. I just did not like smartwatches. I thought they were pointless. And also remember, I was one of the people saying, foldable devices, and eventually come on board. It's 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 one of those things that you either get on board or you don't, and you get left behind. Which is why earlier I was talking. I'm moderating the chat and talking to you guys, by the way. All right, let me just say this. I'm gonna boot some of you guys out, man. With these, if you're not an adult, just leave. How else do I say that? If you don't act like a kid in my stream, man, just bounce. I don't have time to keep removing all these childish comments. Stay on topic. Act like an adult. If you are an adult, act like one. Grow up. Stop posting in different languages. Stop posting all these silly comments in the chat. Grow up or get out. I don't do well with internet beef. If you've been following me long enough, I don't like to play childish games. You know, I'm a grown man. Stop with the silly comments. Get out if you're not here to talk about tech. Just bounce.
Amen.
Get the frick out of here.
Amen.
I don't have time to keep moderating these chats with these silly comments. Just bounce, man. Get out of here. Don't come to my streams if you want to play games in the chat. Just get out of here. Just leave. I don't want you here. I don't know if there's a direct way to say that. I'm here to talk about tech. And that's what the people in the stream normally are here to enjoy. We don't want to waste time, taking care of people that are acting like they're 4 years old. Grow up. Yeah, or get out. Just do your thing.
Time for a spanky.
Yeah, just get out of here, man. Go find some business or something. Go find some business. It's a shame that in this day and age you got to address stuff like that. But people act like little 2-year-olds, man. Get out of here. So what's going on, man? Special shout out to my man Tony Pazzo. Tony feels like, you know what? Let's put Tony on the spot. Tony, if you can join the live stream right now for a few minutes, I'm going to send you a link on Twitter, and I want you to come in because I have a question to ask you, and I want you to answer this question on my live stream. So, Tony, if you can come in, I'm going to stop what I'm doing for a second. I'm going to send you a link to the chat. You know, it doesn't have to be anything fancy. Just come on in if you want to. I want to ask you a question though. So if you're free, let me know. I'm going to invite you into this stream real quick because I have a question I want to answer. I want you to answer. And Tony Pazzo has been doing YouTube just as long as we have, probably. And he's a tech enthusiast.
We used to do streams together, remember?
Yeah, we did streams together. If you've been following us long enough, me, him, and Tony have been on the stream. Oh man, oh boy, we've been on the stream for quite some time. Yeah, we've been on plenty of times together.
Well, you can go watch our first one when I was first joined in, and you can get a good laugh because I didn't know what the heck. I didn't know what the heck I was doing.
Yeah. Oh, Tony's driving. So Tony, if you can make it in the next few, man, if you can pull over and give us a minute or make it home. Yeah, we still got a little bit of time left on this stream. So I would love to ask you some questions about some things in the tech world, especially dealing with smartphones. So, yeah.
Huge shout out to Deepak Murphy, man. I haven't seen that name
in a while. Deepak, is he in here? Where's he at?
Yeah, he's in there. I haven't seen that name in a while, man.
Whoa, yeah, Deepak's been around for a long time, too.
Forbes Tech Reviews, shout out.
Yeah, I've seen Forbes. I see a couple of these. I see Forbes and everybody in here.
Yeah.
There he is right there, man. Deepak. Oh my gosh, man. This cat has been around for so long.
For a long time.
I mean, that was a long time. He remembers our streams from a long time ago. Man, we did streams. Oh my gosh. I can't even. Those are old streams. And I believe they're still there too, because I don't take down my live streams.
And there's Jose. Jose's in there too.
Yeah, Jose Santana has been rocking me for a long time. Some of these guys have been around for a very long time, which that's good support, man. We appreciate it. I saw some comments here. I was trying to find. I saw a statement from somebody. I can't remember. Yeah, 2014. He's been around. It seems like it's been longer than that. It seems like it's been longer than 2014. But that is 7 years though. But it seems like it's been a lot longer.
I think it is. It does feel longer, but I think it is 2014.
Yeah. Yeah, BlackBerry days. You already know. So let's continue our conversation on. Tony, if you can join at any time before we get off, let me know. Just a few minutes to come on, man. It'd be good to have you on. I'm not like trying to set you up or anything like that. I just wanted to have you on. I have some questions. Now, I had some questions. He brings some compelling points on conversations that he's in the middle of my feeling on something and yours. He's in the middle of us. So that's why I wanted to get his thoughts. So I think it'll be perfect for him to answer questions on these topics.
Him and I would go back and forth on certain things. And
I remember.
At the end of it, even on Twitter, I ended up learning some stuff I didn't know through that kind of, okay, let's play basketball with this. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's tennis. It's and boom, 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 and then it's like, man, that was enlightening. It was educational. Yeah. So that's what's so cool is because even on our last stream, Jay, when we were talking about the Nord 200 5G, I learned a couple things that I didn't clearly think through to listening to you during that live stream, and changed my perspective on that in those areas. So that's what's cool about that. So
Yeah.
as long as you respect where the other person's coming from with these type of conversations, you learn a lot, and
Oh
it's
yeah.
it's very encouraging. So yeah.
Yeah. So I want to put this up real quick. Shout out to Sharks fan. He's talking about the people typing in a different language. Use a translator. Go to Google Translate and use a translator. Yeah. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah. I don't I'm not gonna waste my energy on, trying to figure out what someone's saying. All you have to do is just use a Google Translator. That's how I feel about that. But anyway, I found some comments up here. If I may ask both of you, here's something. What were your first cell phones? Oh man. Yeah, she's trying to make us reveal our age because we were both around when there were no cell phones. So, uh,
It was a
wow.
cup with a it was a empty cup with a string, and then a cup on the other.
Put on the wall. Hey, hey, I hear you, dude. Yeah, I remember those days. No, those were
Are we
fun though.
talking about? Are we
Those
talking
were
about a
fun.
flip phone or a candy bar shape that flip
She said
phone?
cell phones, so because the phones that came out. You remember when the phones were in a bag. And I think my first one, oh gosh, what was my first one? I had a big giant one that was in a bag. One of the first ones I had it. I had the
Right.
battery lasted for about 20 minutes. I had the new Nokia, I had the new Motorola. The battery literally would last for just a few minutes. And it was dead. It lasted for 30 minutes and it was dead. What do you think about OnePlus moving forward? Are they going to start coming out? Do you think of foldable phones and designs? So he's going to get his first phone probably. I don't have mine. Mine is from a long time ago, 80s, I believe, or something like that. But nonetheless, you got it. You got one.
I'm thinking I had one before this, but there's this one right here.
Oh yeah, yeah. I remember that. That's the Kyocera, right?
Right. And then when I was with Verizon, I had this one.
Yeah, I had some of the really old phones, those big, ginormous ones, man. Yeah. So here's another question for us, and then I'll get to that next super chat down there. Both you guys, the direction of OnePlus moving forward, you think they'll start doing a foldable phone? I don't think they're going to do a foldable phone. Not me. What do you think?
I would love to see OnePlus doing. I don't know.
Yeah.
I
I don't think they're going to do it. To be honest, I
let me
don't think
just.
they're going to do
That's my
because
answer.
look at
I'd
what's
like to
happening with
see one.
OnePlus. They're now talking about they're moving in with Oppo, and they're under the same umbrella already. But
Yep.
consumers don't know that. But techies, we know that's the same company. So
Yep.
there's no switch being made. It's just people are leaving the company probably or saying no, I want this or I want that, and they're trying to make it look like there's some transition happening. But everybody knows that OnePlus is Oppo. I mean, come on, their phones are just rebranded versions of each other. So
I think there's like 6 brand names that are involved with one bigger company that owns all 6 of them. And
yeah,
if you watch, what's his name? He just did a camera comparison.
Don't say Grant.
Grant.
I knew he was going to say Grant. Grant is the
Huge
best.
shout out Grant.
Grant likes that.
When he in his one of his latest videos, he actually
Yes.
he posted a screenshot of the company name that owns all like 6 of those companies.
Yeah. Yeah. So here's another question. Should companies appreciate the super chats? Should more companies partner with LG to use their hardware and Avid Display cutout? I think I don't know if really I would say that companies should probably start probably buying or finding a way to incorporate LG into their stuff because LG has great software and great hardware, but they're just gone. They weren't selling a lot. So I think they can benefit if they start grabbing some of LG's hardware for sure. They'll kill off LG's software, but the hardware definitely they'll definitely probably benefit by taking care of some of LG's hardware because LG's hardware was ahead of its time. I mean, they did the first wide angle lens. They did a bunch of things that companies just weren't doing. And that's a part of being ahead of your time. It happens like that.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. When you look at today's smartphones, you're going to find a little bit of LG attached to some of those newer smartphones. So huge shout out to them. I'm definitely going to miss them being around. So
Yeah, me too. I like them. I like them a lot. I'm checking my back camera. I had a camera go off. I'm sorry. But when it comes
BBK,
to,
yeah, BBK
oh yeah,
Electronics.
BBK, yeah, yeah.
Thank you, Cracklin
What's your thoughts about the
1985.
phone? Okay, I see a comment
Thank
here. Where
you.
did it go? Oh, here we go. Right here.
Shout out.
Here we go. Right here. This comment right here. What's your thoughts about Google Fold that's supposed to come out? I absolutely am excited about it.
I'm excited. I am
I'm totally
excited.
excited about it, and I hope they do it flat out. I really hope that they bring a folding phone, because the reason I hope that they do this is because that means we're going to get stock Android on a folding device, and it's just going to slaughter. It's going to
And
slaughter.
and you know what's crazy, Jay, is that I don't have a folding phone. I haven't. We talked about this earlier.
Yeah,
I got this feeling that that could end up being my very first foldable phone,
the Google Fold.
the Google Fold, because I'm going to
Well,
buy a flip from Samsung most likely before anything else. And I could see if Google comes out with that, that would literally probably be my first.
yeah. There's so many companies out there that are underrated, like HTC, Xiaomi, Huawei. These companies' hardware is much better than anything offered in the U.S. And I'm glad that I was one of the first people to push openly to buy imports on YouTube, and like I was strong with it, dude. It was BlackBerry and it was imports. I was heavily pushing this narrative, and people kind of laughed and brushed it off. Oh, that phone costs $100. I'm like, this phone costs $100, and it's got better hardware and better cameras than your iPhone or your Android phone, or whatever you have, that cost $400 at the time. So I don't
Yeah.
understand why people. Again, it goes back to that brand loyalty that people have for some reason, and they just don't care. They will just buy whatever. They don't care.
Yeah. Yep. Agreed.
We control the narrative, though, for a lot of things, and if we don't make a decision to um, push certain things, like the HTC hardware was fantastic, Huawei's hardware is fantastic, Sony's hardware is great. My problem with Sony is that they have everybody else has their sensors and their cameras work flawlessly. Why is it Sony's cameras on all their devices fell off? It doesn't make any sense. And so now that they've gotten the new series from the Xperia 1 line, they're doing a heck of a lot better. But my experience with the Xperia 1 when I first got it, it was horrible, man. It was just horrible. And everybody said, "Oh, Jay, you don't know how to use that phone." I'm like, "Okay, man, so I don't know how to take pictures?" I have a DSLR, a mirrorless camera. I have another ZV-1 over there. I know how to go into manual mode. And I know how to do it on a phone too. The quality was just bad at the time. So now that Sony's made those changes, I think they're in a whole other direction when it comes to what their smartphones are supposed to be doing. But I thought it was crazy, man. At one point, their phones, man, were just like the worst ever for cameras. And they were giving their sensors to everybody else. Didn't make any sense. None whatsoever.
No.
I'm looking through some of
What
your
were they
comments. So if you have
doing?
a question or comment, post it
What were
below.
those other companies doing with those sensors that Sony
I,
wasn't?
I know. I
You
know.
know,
That doesn't make any sense, man.
it doesn't
That
make
that
any
makes
sense
no
at
sense
all.
whatsoever. Let me remove this over here. Yeah. Oh, I can just close it up here. I was trying to stop sharing this screen here. There we go. So if you have a question, go ahead and post it down below. Today, we're just pretty much covering the direction of smartphones. So but without exposing too much of your future video, and I'll try not to expose too much of my future upcoming video this week, because I have a video posting on Friday, and I know you have yours posting soon. Do you think that OnePlus cheated us on the Nord series? Because there's another Nord coming out. The Nord 2 is ready to come out. But how do you after having the OnePlus Nord N200 for a couple of weeks now, do you think that OnePlus is falling off? Like they're in the news about what is it, throttling their phones or something? I don't listen to any of that nonsense. I just
You
use the
know,
products. I,
here's that whole whatever's going on. I've not experienced anything that makes me go, what's going on here? And I got 3 OnePlus devices, and so I hear the news. I hear
Me too.
that. I guess it's something to talk about. It's something to pay attention to. I get it. I get that. But if you're still having a great experience and you're not experiencing anything that makes you go, then you
Yeah.
probably shouldn't worry about it. You know what I'm saying? Every company out there is somewhat small or big involved with something they probably you wouldn't agree with.
Yeah.
so,
Yeah.
so that's just going to be news all the time. Now, is that information, or is it hurting your user experience on your OnePlus? Is it something that you've experienced where then you know what? If you're having that big of an issue, see if you can return the device or sell it and never go back to the company again. But
I wouldn't just write a company off like that. Like some people do that.
I personally wouldn't.
Yeah.
I'm just saying if you're going to have that big of a about it, then end it.
Yeah, I agree. I think if a person, because some people make a big stink out of certain things, they'll have a bad experience with one thing from like 10 years ago, and they'll just let it hang over the company forever. A great example was LG, the boot loop thing. Boot loop thing was definitely not happening for it. It stopped a long time ago. I don't know why people still rolled this boot loop thing, but they chose to do it, and this made it seem like it was so much worse than what it really was. And here we are, fast forward to today, people are still talking about this boot loop thing. I'm like, oh my gosh, man, let it go. That happened years ago. Let this boot loop thing go, and let's move forward.
Well, period. and they finally settled with Huawei on the Nexus 6P boot loop situation. I got a check in the mail for $11 the other day.
I heard about that.
So, but you know what? I own 3 Nexus 6Ps, and never did I experience that at all on any of those phones.
Me neither. Me neither. So let me see. Hold on one second. I think my dog is. I'm going to step away for a second.
What was the initial question though that you asked?
Did I post someone's question? Oh, if I felt OnePlus was falling off.
No, I don't think they are. I don't think they are.
I'm going to turn my camera off and mic off for a second. I'll be right back. You can hold it down.
All right. I'll read some of these comments here. Again, I appreciate everybody coming on by. It's really nice to get back to doing these live streams and just being able to hang out with Jay. And if you don't know, back in the early days when I first started, Jay had a lot to do with mentoring me on what I was getting myself involved with as far as YouTube, because it was all by accident that I started a channel. It was never an idea, and then I went for it. It was just an honest kind of accidental venture into this whole world, and Jay started commenting on my on the comment section, and that's how we got to know each other. And through that, I got to know a lot of other YouTubers. But he was able to, and a couple other people that I back then, get me going on all this. So it's been a great journey, and it's been great to be here with all of you guys again today. So huge shout out to Jay for that. I was telling how you first started mentoring me back in the early days.
Oh, wow. Man, you know what? Truth be told, I think I helped a lot of people back in the day. I didn't know what I was doing, but
it helped.
I just was motivated. I was trying to help myself, and I was learning from you guys too. It might not have seemed like it, but I was new too. Remember, I mean, I might have started in 2006, but I was still new. Right. I didn't know what I was doing. Do you think there might be some companies developing important phones yet? Yeah, no. Whatever an important phone is, yeah. I think companies are still. Basically it's still just a money grab for companies. Sure. That's what it is. If we're seeing it for what it is, it's a money grab. They want money, and that's why. If they didn't, why do we have a new phone like every month or so?
Because I'm addicted. Because I'm addicted.
No, I mean, like, why are companies releasing phones every month instead of just focusing on one phone every other year or something like that?
Sure, it's money.
They don't have to bring up because it's a money grab. They want you to believe. Apple's great at this, and Samsung is great at this. Well, every company is good at it, though. They'll say that they're bringing out something new, and really they're just bringing out the same phone with a few tweaks and not giving you what you should have gotten initially.
The business. It's a business. And as far as OnePlus falling off, you have to think, if you've done this long enough, and for me, I've learned this along the way. If I have a business, I'm not always going to stay the same. There's going to be something I change about that business. There's going to be a look. There's going to be the marketing. there's going to be a presentation of
Yeah.
whatever, and one day I'll be here, and another day or another year I'll be over here, and you're going to say, well, you were not the way you, because businesses, to stay in a business and accommodate the customer, whether you like it or not, there's got to be change.
Yeah.
And OnePlus eventually was going to have to change their game. They weren't always going to be a flagship killer company. They
No.
opened up a door that allowed other companies to come in and take over that name.
Yeah. Yeah, because right now they're definitely not the flagship killer company. Not at all.
No,
They're just
no,
another company.
no.
That's all they are. They're
And
another
they're
company.
throwing
They're
out
producing some
smartphones.
stuff, but
They're
they're
throwing
just
out
another
smartphones
company.
that are affordable that we can buy, that other people can dabble in. I like
Right.
having a choice. Thank you. I
Right.
love choices, and you don't have to buy them, but they're choices.
Yeah, that's true.
And I remember I first heard of OnePlus through a grocery worker, where I work in a meat department, who showed up with the OnePlus One, the original, and I didn't know what in the world that
Ooh.
was. And he had it in his hand, and I'm looking at it, going, "Wow, what is that?" He goes, "It's just company that's just new." He goes, "They probably won't stick around for a long time, but you know." And who would have known years later we'd have that they were able to build a flagship device like the Pro.
That's correct.
You know?
That's correct.
You know,
That is
it's part of the
correct.
game, man.
So there's a conversation that's been going on for quite some time, and I just want to get your thoughts on it. I've always felt like if the support is there, of course, any phone can make it if it gets the support. And the Surface Duo initially, if you don't know, there was supposed to be the Surface Neo as well. That's like the 10-inch folding tablet. Remember that one? They announced back in 2019.
Yeah, I heard. Yeah,
it was just a tablet. It wasn't anything. It had the phone capabilities when it was next to a link to phone or whatever. But there was rumors of a Surface Duo, like the phone version, with Windows on it, full blown Windows. Hey, Tony. Yeah, let me send you the link, Tony. Hold on. Let me get Tony the link. I'm gonna send it to your Twitter, Tony, right now. Let's see here, Tony Pazzo. Because I want to talk about. There you are, Tony. Check your Twitter, Tony. Got the link to you right there. So there was rumors of a Windows version of the Surface Duo. And I think some people feel like, oh, it wouldn't have sold, but actually the Surface Duo Windows version, and I think that would have done very well. I think it would have done very well, especially if it was like a full blown Windows experience, like a laptop. I think if they would have done that and brought out the Android version and added 8 gigs of RAM, they'd have been okay. The Windows version would have definitely sold because a person would have had a full laptop in their pocket, like a real laptop in their pocket. So if it was something like that, do you think that would have drawn more attention to the Duo?
Oh yeah, yeah.
I mean, it got a lot of attention now, but I mean, do you think if they would have brought a Windows version, you think that would have made it even better?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Definitely, especially now with the with Windows and what they're doing now, and being able to go into the Play Store and bring in your apps and so forth. And
Yeah,
I mean, there's just a lot going on there now that would be more intriguing for somebody to want a lot of that. So
yeah. So the reunion. Tony Pazzo, Jay Will, Anthony, myproject13, man. When was the last time we were on a stream together, man? At least 5 to 8 years ago or something, like 7 years, right?
I would say it was about at least 3 or 4 years ago, maybe.
It was that close? Wow. It seems like such a long time, man.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
Where's the balloons, man?
I know, right, man? This is crazy. It's crazy. We hung out on a live stream. We did several live streams together, man. I remember because we were all buying the same phones, and it was crazy, man.
And we still look good. Look at us.
We definitely. I think Tony's like 40 something. You're still in your 40s, right, Tony?
I'm 48. I'm up there.
Yeah, so yeah, Tony's there. He's with us. He's coming up there.
I'm catching up to you guys.
Nah, you good. You're there, brother. You just dye your hair. That's all. I cut mine off, and you dye yours. I know you dye your beard. I see Just for Men all over you. I know. I see. So Tony, man, you got to get out more, Tony, when you can, man, because me and Anthony are going to be doing these on Tuesdays at this time at 2 p.m.
Okay.
Central Standard Time. It'd be fun to have you on because
Yeah.
we had a blast back in the day, man. It was so much fun. It was different too. Live streams were completely different. It was way more relaxed. Everybody wasn't so uptight and serious about all the phones coming out, and we just had a good time with it, man. But I told when you were driving earlier, I was telling Anthony that you were in the middle of how both of us think about folding devices. You lean straight one way, at least you did in most of the comments I read. But how do you feel? Tell everybody how you feel. I've read how you felt in some comments before. Like you don't think foldable phones are worth
I,
even giving a second look, right?
I don't see it right now at the moment. I don't see, especially with everything that's going on, pandemic wise and all that. I don't see.
Yeah.
It has a lot to do with smartphones, and you can see where Samsung xed out their Note this year, and you can
Yeah.
see it with LG. You can see it with a bunch of other companies how it's slowing down, and I don't see companies pushing foldables out like Samsung. I don't
So,
know.
so it's not that you don't think photo. So you don't actually, because if you just read Tony's comments, it reads it like I read it as though he thinks it's just a flop and photomodes are pointless. But it sounds like you just don't believe that it's time yet, or people will grab onto it
Yeah,
right now based on the economy.
yeah, based on what's going on. Plus, for me personally, my personal opinion with smartphones, I don't see myself using it. Me personally, I don't see
Yeah,
myself.
and that's the good part because I was reading some of your comments. Like I was like, man, every time I invite or every time I bring up a foldable, Tony's like, he is not interested in this guy. Does not want to be involved with a freaking foldable. I'm like, God, hey.
Yeah,
I said, man, but now that I hear you say it, that's why I said it's better. Like when you hear things, the person it's like reading a text message. You
yeah,
can read a text message and you think the person is going off on you. In reality, they might somewhat be agreeing with you. But yeah, there's just text messages can be read all kind of ways. You know what I mean? So
that's true.
yeah, but I mean, it's. I said, I know, Tony. Would you actually use a foldable phone?
I would try one out, but I don't see it because I'm more of a. I have my computer for my computer work. I
Yeah,
have my TV for my movies, and I got basically my phone just for like social media and texting
yeah,
back and forth. So I don't really see its spot. I've
right.
had tablets. I've had the iPad, and it basically just sat around. So that's probably another reason.
Now I bought the iPhone SE because of you. Real well, not strictly because of you, but you really pushed the narrative on that phone. The iPhone SE 2.
I
When
loved it.
you, yeah, when you got that, I was like, I'm gonna go ahead and buy this because he clearly is enjoying it, and he's done reviews back in the day, and I'm gonna try it out, and it was actually pretty good. I felt cheated afterwards though, because remember I bought the iPhone 11, 11 Pro Max. I bought those and they have the same internals, so
Mm-hmm.
I felt cheated. I was like, this is stupid. Why they do this to us? But I think foldables. I don't think foldables is a niche product or something like that. I don't think foldables. Like here's a comment right here, and everybody has their right to their opinion. I don't think foldables are a niche product that's just going to be something that's a gimmick. I don't think it's a gimmick. It can't be labeled as a gimmick because it is actually more functional to have more than one screen in your pocket. There's no denying that. You can fold away a phone. It's obviously going to be
Well,
more functional for you.
what would it be its purpose for you in general? A foldable phone. What would you use it for?
Oh, currently, I mean, come on, I have several folding phones. You being able to do multiple things at once, and I think the Surface Duo right now is a better version of a folding phone because they have that span feature, and it is so nice to be able to have your email and then view it and type and just do more than one. You can actually do 3 or 4 things on the Surface Duo at one time, like have applications open. But for me, I'm real time using it, doing multiple things.
Okay.
And when I did that on my Z Fold 2, it was just different. Like Z Fold 2 has the 2 skinny screens for the applications. The Surface Duo has 2 full size screens, and I can have a movie on top if I want to, an email on the bottom, or YouTube on the bottom, and a movie on the top. It's just the functionality of it. And also, here's a real world way that I actually use it. I have my Bible app on one side, and I have my notes on the other side, and I
That's
never have to leave. I can copy my scripture over here, put it over here, and put together the sermon or whatever like that. That's a fantastic way
see
that
for you, I think that's excellent right there.
I think a lot, not just me though. Not techies don't. I don't think just techies are going to like the Surface Duo
Me,
because if you look online, there's a ton of people that are not techies that are buying the Surface Duo and loving it.
So here's the thing. Like I could see myself doing that while sitting in a chair or laying in bed with something with like that. But going out and about on the run, going to work, I would rather use a smartphone or a flip phone because it's a little more pocketable. As I'm out there, now I get home, I got my little Duo on the nightstand. I can pull that open, watch a movie. I can do some multitasking because really, for me, maybe 10, 15% of the time would I utilize multitasking. So I could see me utilizing that at home, but out and about, it would literally be a flip or a candy bar shaped phone.
Yeah, but see, that's the thing though. The Duo is unlike the other folding phones because it actually folds into one phone.
Right. And
So
I'm going to
what's
go
your
take a
argument
better
for that?
look at it. I'm going to go take a better look at it.
No, I'm not. No, just because I'm not pushing anybody to buy.
No. But I want to investigate.
I'm just saying.
How does it fit in your pocket? Is the thing.
Great, and I even have the OtterBox too. It looks. Here's the one thing I noticed about the phone when you're looking at it on video. It looks huge. Yeah. When you get it in hand, you're like, God, this thing is small. It feels great, and I even put it in my OtterBox when I have it in my pocket. It's good.
If you're wearing skinny jeans,
I'm telling you, it is good. Yeah, I don't do skinny jeans. A kid actually, it's thin enough. It's thin enough for those people who wear skinny jeans. I think you know.
You wear the skinny jeans, you look like you got a VCR.
Man, that's crazy. I don't understand it. It's just a full circle though. Skinny jeans.
Tony mentioned something that is kind of a lot. You know, we're getting through this pandemic, and we don't know if we're ever going to go through another pandemic or not. But I think that's why even Apple is considering, like, with the because Face Unlock, it's just nearly impossible. Display fingerprint reader, I think they're supposed to be coming out with something like that. So you're going to have to be able to cater these smartphones in a sense to the point where they're going to be easy to get to and use in situations like with COVID. So a smartphone with a fingerprint reader on the back, that's why I love that, man, because I was able to get it out, bam. You know what I'm saying? I just
don't see how a foldable, and again, I just think that foldable devices are way more functional than a regular just a bar phone, because it can become a bar phone if you needed to. And most of the foldable devices have the fingerprint readers physically on them now. They don't have in-screen, they have a physical hard button. And just having a foldable device with the economy the way it is right now, it's going to be way more functional than just a regular bar phone. I had someone doing some upgrades to my house, and the first thing they said was, "Oh my gosh, what is that?" They were using an iPhone 12 Pro Max. And they said, man, if I had that to do my documents and stuff with, this would be so much better. Some random person, never met him before. But so I don't understand, basically, just because the economy is a certain way, in reality, Apple isn't dropping any prices. Samsung isn't dropping any prices. No one's dropping prices because of the economy. If anything, they're increasing the pricing on their devices. They truly are. Cell phones are not going to drop in price just because the economy is bad. But I think that, you know, some people just, if you've never used any folding device regularly, you probably, not you, Tony or Anthony, not you guys, but just people who, because your approach is your approach, and, you know, everybody gets their opinion on it, and everybody can, there's no right or wrong answer, basically. I'm not right, you know what I'm saying? And no one's right. It's just personal experience with the devices. But I just think that when people don't have something, or they're, like Anthony was saying earlier, some people just refuse to change. They don't want to try anything else. And I think that if more people had the ability to buy a folding device, meaning the prices were lower, and they can, because a lot of people are financing phones. They're not doing like us, paying full cost for them. You know, they're just not doing it because phones aren't as important to regular consumers as they are to everybody else in the tech world. But I think the fact that people can finance the devices, foldable devices, yes, it might take a while to catch on. I totally agree with that. But I think by now, if foldable devices, now remember, you're talking to somebody who was against smartwatches. Remember, I hated smartwatches, and I definitely didn't like folding phones. But once I started to see the functionality it gave me and benefited from me, I thought it was great. Because I told you earlier, if you didn't know, my wife, she switched from her iPhone and her Galaxy S21. They're sitting on the nightstand over there. She now uses the Surface Duo full time, and she's an executive, and she can see the functionality for her. It's not because she's an executive. It's just that her personal phone, her work phone is something else. Her work phone is some Android phone, but her personal phone is now the Surface Duo. And I never would think that she was an iPhone person. Like for as long as I can remember, she carried an iPhone and a Galaxy Note, whatever the current Galaxy Note was. She carried that, and the only reason she has the S21 Ultra is because she liked that better than the Note. It was too boxy or whatever, and she liked the S21 Ultra, so we got the S21 Ultra. So folding devices, I don't think they're anything special. I think it's a matter of the style of it. It has to be small enough but big enough. It has to add some function to the person.
Yeah, I agree.
And yeah, it has to be in a form factor that's going to be appealing.
Right.
And
Right.
even when I saw the Surface Duo, even though it's really small, I still said maybe they can cut a little bit more off, make it a little bit more narrow. But then that shrinks the inner screen down to maybe 7 inches or whatever. But nonetheless, I think folding phones will hit hard once OEMs can get those prices down.
Yeah. See,
I totally believe that.
Here's the thing for me.
Like Joseph Erickson says, my opinion about foldable phones, I feel like they're going to start taking off. Some people may not like the fact that they're foldable, but in my opinion, they can do a lot more than the standard phone. Just like you're saying, Jay, I think a couple of years ago, I wasn't that intrigued.
Let me let my dog in. I'll be right back. Let me let my dog in.
Okay. At this point, I am more intrigued with the Flip. But I think as you look down the road, 2 to
froze up.
And yes, then maybe it'll be more solid as far as making a decision to purchase something like that. But at that point too, we're going to have cost effective, where they won't be so expensive, and we'll have probably a budget, a mid-range, and a flagship when it comes to foldable phones, which is going to make it more appealing to want to have one or try one. And you'll have different form factors as far as sizes. I don't know if you agree with that, Tony, but
yeah,
I think that's going to change the game from what we have right now, and maybe we don't see that being relevant to us
right now. Yeah, I kind of agree, but for me,
you still there?
I've had tablets. Yeah, for me, I've had iPad tablets, and I always find myself, even though I have the iPad, I always find myself reaching for the phone, and I'm guessing it's more of a comfort, smaller. I don't know. I don't. That's just me personally. I don't have a thing for it, but maybe it might grow on me as far as a foldable. I did like the LG Wing when
that was dope.
Pretty cool, but nothing that could really entice me right now as far as foldable.
Yeah. So, well, Jay, let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
If Google drops a Pixel foldable phone and you have, it's a stock Android foldable, is that going to hurt it if it doesn't have a lot of other functionality involved with it, like a lot of other smart foldable phones like Samsung and their foldable?
You're talking about like the multitasking features, like two windows.
If you don't have a lot of those features implemented, and it's just basically like a regular Pixel smartphone as far as just stock Android, the very minimal. I mean, you obviously can download stuff, but if it's not going to come out with some sort of choices to be able to utilize that type of tech, as far as that type of tech, as far as a foldable, is that going to hurt them, or do you think they're going to implement other, functionalities on?
Well, current, I don't that won't hurt them at all, because you can do split screen on Android.
Right.
And so if Google's going to release a foldable, they're going to implement their abilities to do split screens for multi-app if they do that. And I think they're going to do it. And I think it will be stock Android is just always going to be the way I prefer to go. Just stock, whatever. I just like stock, period. If I had a choice, it's going to be stock. So I don't think Google will release a device that can't take advantage of their own operating system, which is split screen and multitasking. They'll probably, the flip phone that they do release is going to be able to use their split screen, and they'll definitely probably implement a way to do it, like with the Microsoft Teams and the Microsoft applications, the way it works on the Duo. And, Samsung has a deal with Microsoft as well. I think you guys knew that already. I already know. but you can use their products. Some of Samsung phones now come with the suite on there. Like, I think my Fold came with the Microsoft suite, if I remember. And obviously the Surface came with the Microsoft suite.
Maybe they should also implement like some pen features. Pixel.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
Yeah. I think that now pen features are now that's something I think that is limited. I don't think a lot of people would want to buy a pen. I personally do not like the fact that I have to buy a pen for my iPad. But for Samsung, the top tablet right now is that tablet back there that I have, the Tab S7 Plus. If you've never experienced it, not that just because they give you the pen, it is a creator's dream. If you think you like an iPad and you're a creator, get the Tab S7 Plus and buy Power Director Pro or whatever LumaFuture, whatever you want to buy as your creating application. That thing is powerful. And I know everybody says, oh, the M1 chip and all this other stuff. iPads still are not taking advantage of the resolution. Or did I miss something? They're not taking advantage of these big, large screens. I must have missed something. So when it comes to Google doing this, the split on the folding device, I would think that Google is watching and they're learning from all the mistakes that other people are making when they bring out these foldable devices. I will hope that they do. And if they don't team up with Microsoft, something's wrong. Because you can get the Microsoft suite in the store, so that's not really an issue. But I will hope that they find a way to benefit from the folding device. I will hope that they would. And I don't think that's going to hurt them at all. Let's just say they do bring out the folding Pixel device, right? And let's just say it's just a stock Android tablet. Even that, like when you open it up, even if they do it like that, it's still going to be beneficial to a lot of people because you can do split screen, or you can multitask with several windows. You can put YouTube up, swipe it up, it pops up because it has pop-up feature. Unlike my iPad, it does not. You cannot watch YouTube now. They just updated that to where you're supposed to be able to do it, but my iPad still can't. I haven't gotten the update. I think is it coming in 15? It's coming in iOS 15. Do you know? I don't know. It's supposed to be already approved, and they're going to allow the pop-up YouTube on iPads. Yeah. So, but even if Google just decides to just bring out a folding Pixel with stock Android and don't add any features, I don't think it's going to hurt. You'll hear the technology world complaining, "Oh, Google's not taking advantage of this 7-inch screen on the inside or this 8-inch screen." You'll see the technology world complaining because they complain about every freaking thing. Every tech enthusiast wants everything to be the way they want it. They want phones to come out at $25 and they want a Snapdragon 999 with 14 gigs of RAM. It's just not going to happen. It's not going to happen. You can't have all these things. The tech world is going to always complain. But if Google does it, I'm still on it because I like stock Android.
I agree. I'm going to be on it, man. You know, Pixel alone, I mean, for me over time, it's really grown on me, and it's the closest that I'll get to Nexus. And the latest devices have just brought me home to that feeling again. And I think that if I'm going to venture out into that world as a foldable, that should be my first foldable. So,
right.
You know what I'm saying? So regardless of, you know, I obviously asked that question just because I wanted your thoughts on it. But
Tony's got to bounce real quick. I want to say, thank Tony for coming on real quick, man. Spur of the moment.
Thank you.
I love unscheduled things. Like, I think it's great. I appreciate you, man. Tell everybody where they can find you at, man.
Tony.
YouTube, Tony Pazzo, and Instagram, Tony Pazzo 216. I gotta do some work over here.
Yeah, I see you.
Well, thanks for having me. It was short and sweet, but I'll catch up with you guys next time.
We'll do it again. Doubt, man. We'll do it again.
Yeah, take care, bro.
Have a good one. Peace out.
All right. Go ahead, Anthony.
I don't even know where I was, man.
My bad. He was sending me a message that he had to get out of here. So
yeah, I got 5 minutes too, and then I got to get going because.
Yeah, you sure do. Yeah, let's go ahead and wrap this thing up, man. We've been going for an hour and a half.
Yeah, it goes.
Oh, wow, this was the fastest hour and a half I've ever seen pass.
This was. I could do another hour and a half.
Me too, because it was. I mean, I can't believe we've been on here for an hour and a half, dude. It's freaking 3:30. I did not know it.
I think to wrap up the foldable thing, I think at the end of the day, I think that with all of these companies coming out and what we have, I think at some point you're either with it, and I think at some point you're going to get with it if you're not now.
Yeah, I think so too.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
It'll
I think you
become a
should
way.
check out that $400.
Well,
I think you're gonna. You'll be surprised, dude.
I'm gonna stop by and check it out. Put my hands on it. So
I think you'll be surprised. I think
haven't
you might have
done
to
that
go
yet.
into an
So
AT&T store or something like that, or a Best
I
Buy.
at least deserve to give it some hands on. So I'm gonna do that.
Somebody's ringing my door.
Thank you everybody for coming on by. Thank you, Jay, again for having me on. And it's always a pleasure for just that all of you here in the live stream have taken time to hang out with me and Jay. It's a blessing. It really, really is. And just to be able to do this again with Jay is a blessing. It's good to be back. We're going to do our best to do these on Tuesdays unless something gets in the way. This is what we're going to be planning for. If you want to get in, if you want to watch some content, I'm going to have a video dropping here, hopefully later on this afternoon. So check out the channel, and you can get in touch with me over at Twitter at Anthony131368. And that's all the social media I have. So with that, thank you so much. Peace. God bless. Stay safe and healthy.
We'll see you in the next one. Take care.